Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. WSB. Do you hear us? Perfect. So anyone who wants to be added to the panel list, please raise your hand so we can add you to the panel list. Good evening, everyone. We are hosting today from Alexandria Financial Center, Virginia. This is WSB team meeting. Good evening. I see Liz, WSB Toronto. Good evening. Legendist Financial Center. Good evening. Research Financial Center. Obruk Financial Center. Yes, raise your hand who wants to be added to the panel list. El Paso Financial Center. Do you hear us? Kati Financial Education Center. Champagne Financial Center. Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Yes, Minnesota Financial Education Center. Dallas Greenville Financial Center. Lowell Financial Center. Subway Financial Center, everyone. Good evening, good evening. Yes, who wants to be added to panel list, please raise your hand so we can add you to this amazing meeting tonight. Good evening. Diras, Jacksonville Financial Education Center. Dallas Central, Aurora Financial Education Center. Good evening, everyone. Yes, let's turn on our camera. Philadelphia Financial Center, where else? Let's see. I see Atlanta Financial Center, Atlantic City Financial Center, where else? Houston, here we go. Houston downtown, I see you. Good evening, everyone. Maitland Financial Center, I see there. Good evening. Hi, Johnny. What else? Let us see. All right. Good evening, everyone. We have 2 minutes left. If you want to be added to the panel, please raise your hand so we can add you and see your beautiful face. Here we go. Baton Rouge, WSB, do you hear us? Good evening. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I see you. Empire Financial Team. Good evening. Yeah.
Good evening, good evening.
Financial Center. Good evening, everyone. Yes. Yeah, 1 more minute to go. Let us see. Wow, Vermont Hill Financial Centers. Do you hear us? Yeah. Beautiful. 658. I see. Where is that? Beautiful. Edward. Wimping. Is it called? Good evening. Wonderful. All right. We have few minutes left. Concord Financial Center. And then WSB Houston Gallery Financial Center. Live Oak Financial Center. WSB Ottawa Financial Center. Good evening, everyone. Wow, what a beautiful night. Yeah. One, two, three. Ah, I see Savoy is beautiful. I see the energy. Wow, it's great. Yeah. What else? You have few minutes to be added to the panel list. Raise your hand so I can name you. Yeah, I see Franklin Square. Good evening. Iras. Wow. Perfect. Now, everybody make sure silent your phone and then focus on today's meeting. My name is Masai Molet Degu. I'm living in Alexandria in Alexandria, Virginia, located in Alexandria Financial Center. All right. So first and most, I want to thank WHB for giving me this chance. I'm going to introduce myself quickly. Let me share. All right. It's working. Perfect. Okay. All right, we are ready to start. Let us start. Yeah, ready? Wish. Let's wish. Everyone. 1, 2, 3.
It's too late, but I want
Push.
it.
One team, one team, one sister, one cause. Welcome to WSB meeting, everyone. My name is Masai Moledagu. I just want to say a little bit about my story. I came to United States in 2002, and then, as any immigrant, this is the first thing I face, when you come to the country, the first thing you see is the landmark places, right? The people who receive you, they will take you there, and then they will show you those beautiful places. And then American is promising, you be hopeful. And then after a few days, you're going to start your job. And then my first job, I remember, as a cashier at Chevron gas station. That was amazing, but they didn't teach me finance. So I have to struggle to work from one job to another job. But one thing I know, I have to save money because as an immigrant, everybody, we are trying to save money and help our family back home too. So I saved some money, and then my dream is to be financial independent. So I decided to open my own business. Then I just opened my restaurant business in 2007 in DC, Washington, DC area. So, it's not easy running a business, opening one thing, but you have to be there from 9 to 2 o'clock. Imagine how many hours I have to work. And then there is a running cost. So minimum monthly to maintain that door open, I have to spend $25,000. It's not it's not easy opening business, right? But fast forward, I learned a lot of things as an immigrant in that restaurant because I see people spending money. The same time, I see people, GoFundMe begging for money. The same thing as you see, same places. That's what triggered me to come here to this amazing place. I have been introduced by someone over here. His name is Artist Musfin. But to come here, I have seen a lump sum check paid 9 years back to a family. That's what, families, financial security is important. I see that, and then he helped me to come here. So the first time I joined 12/23/2019, December, this is for my new resolution. So over here, I see that you can also share this unique opportunity with like-minded individuals who want to achieve their dream of becoming financial service business owner. Yeah, this is an amazing opportunity. I can't share my own business, like restaurant business, to friends, but this is much simple and then doable. And then I have been told with my trainer, Mama Tutu, now Emily, to get a license within 1 month. I did it that. That's very simple. When we joined here, we need to have a license, right? So 1 month is enough. I just got my license January 31st. And then, COVID came, we closed up. After COVID, what we do? Everybody is depressed, but we are hopeful, right? Because of this financial education, I was helping less than a month, 45 people, 45 families protected. With that, I have been, awarded to and promoted to marketing director. This text you see from Sigat Kabada, my CEO, this is incredible. Guess what? And then 50K. This is simple. I can't do this on my own business, restaurant business. I was running for 2 years out of my pocket. Imagine. Over here is simple and doable. I have learned it. So thank you for being, my mentor and helper, those people around me who helped me to achieve this goal. And then event is very important. As you know, coming, we have launch. The first event I participated after COVID was the Philadelphia, the Trainer Academy. I see, people are coming for, one cause, for one dream, for one system. Those people, it's amazing for me, I've never been in this kind of huge meeting for one cause. So that helped me, to move to next step, launch 22. I never missed that one too. It is COVID. People we make excuse not to come to meetings. This kind of things never, never, never happened to me because COVID or no COVID, I'm here to the meeting. I never missed it. So because of that, I met once time in a life a great coach, Swan. That helped me, you know, to transform myself to the next level. That is a senior marketing director position. This is incredible. And then, after convention, always you get something, 100K, and then you get G23 convention, another somebody, G24 convention, another somebody, that's incredible and then powerful. We travel too, super trip. I traveled to Spain, Portugal. I met the young generation coach, Alicia. It's incredible. Thailand, Hawaii, Turkey, Hawaii again, Korea. Now I'm ready to go to Poland too. So I want to thank my, leadership, support, my team, and then my CEO, my EMD, and then even my sideline, who's mentoring me forever. I thank you all. With that, I'm gonna pass it to this trainer, amazing trainer, all the way to Hollywood Financial Center, a proud WSB campaigner since 2010, recruited by Michael Lyle, and then, married to him. She retired from nursing business and then full-time in the business. Please help me to welcome Rachel Lyle from Hollywood Financial Center.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Masai did an incredible job opening us up, and your story's so warm. I really feel for all of the folks who make the United States what the United States is. And that is just being able to give back, which is what your name represents. It's a gift. So we thank you. And so again, I'm representing here in Hollywood Financial Center. And my name is Regine Lyle, as Masai said, proud world system builder. And tonight we're going to talk about selling understanding versus selling the product. And if you're in your office or you're at home, you can reference the System Builder book on page 207. So we're going to do three things, and then I'm going to pass it over back to Masai. So let's jump right into it. So again, it says here on page 207, in the financial industry, there are many products and even more salespeople. Well, I'm here to tell you that although you got your license in insurance or securities, you're not a salesperson, because being a salesperson means you have to convince people to buy things that they really don't want. So we're not in that business. We are in the education business. It says here that some spend all their lives selling term insurance. Some work for companies that sell only whole life, and others sell VUL or IUL, while others specialize in nothing but annuities, which is why I love WSB, because we are holistic. We market for so many different products and for so many different companies, and we have so many different products that we can offer people. So it's not just a one shoe fit all, right? It says also that many people jump into selling investment products when the stock market is hot, while others peddle mortgages when interest rates are low. Companies spend a fortune developing new products, hiring new salespeople, and advertising to make products more appealing. Yet, many families are still in a world of hurt. And they're in a world of hurt because they just don't know. They don't understand how money works. That was where I was back in 2010. You see, lack of savings, mounting debt, and rising bankruptcy are the norms of today. So this year we implemented in our office, every time we have a meeting, that the team has to come in and share their story of what they did in that week, what advances they do in their savings, what advances they do in their business. Can you guys hear me okay? I see that the volume is low. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Thumbs up, Masai?
Yeah,
Okay.
you are good.
Okay, perfect. So some people buy a variety of insurance products but lack savings and investments. Others have different kinds of savings and investments without understanding the need for protection. Still, others get a new mortgage but may create more debt and also more spending. So it says quite often the person who sells insurance, investments, real estate, or mortgages hardly pays attention to other important aspects of their clients' needs. So it's important that we cover all bases. You see, in the financial industry, there's three parts. It's made up of the it's made up of the banking, sorry. It's also made up of investment. And the one part that's so misunderstood is the insurance part of it. So within there, you have to make sure you can encompass all three and you can also educate on all three as well. So it says they also tend to see clients once and never come back to check up on them again. Hence why Swan is fighting so hard that this year we finish the job. That is my anthem. We gotta finish the job. Everyone who comes into WSB, you have to know that the end goal is to become full time. Because once you have these clients, you're going to have them for the rest of their lives. You have to service them for the rest of your lives. So if you do this on a part-time basis, you can't say that you're educating or you're helping, right? Because you're not really engaging yourself in the business aspect. So it says here, very few people are willing to sit down on a regular basis to help people understand important concepts, how money works, their financial picture, and priorities of their future, which is why also when we have people come on board, either as a team member or as a client or just looking, I'm so excited for a convention. We have over 49 people coming with us to launch in Baltimore, Maryland. Yes, but it shows you that most of those folks that are coming, they're not only brand new people, but they're folks that have not even joined the business yet. So expose folks to the education, which is important. So it's not so much the product, but the financial concepts and the principles that are more important. So if people are financially educated, they will buy the product that build a strong financial foundation for their family. It says in the box, you cannot see a doctor once and expect to stay healthy. You got to go to work. The same is true for your car, which needs regular maintenance. Your financial situation also needs to be reviewed on a regular basis. I'll never forget when Alex Flores spoke one time when he shared with us that he checks his finances every single month. Are you on track? Are you reaching your goal? Are you seeing progress? And that is one of the things that has impacted me when I heard him speak. So moving on, what's also important is learning about the higher level of the X curve. You see, in this business, you have to allow yourself to grow. Because if you don't grow, then you can't fully service your clients. Because if you just start off saving $200 a month and you end still 5 years later saving $200 a month, then you're going to think people around you only have $200 a month as well. So as you grow in this business, as you make money in this business, you also have to save more money. So in this higher level of X curve, you have to know it also comes with responsibility. So continuing on, it says, I often ask myself why some people barely have $100,000 protection and why some have $1 million more of protection. I'm also puzzled by how some people have only $50 a month that they can save, whereas others are saving $500 a month. It doesn't matter what kind of discipline they're in. Here in South Florida, you'll find people who live in the ghetto save more money than people who live in the high rises. Why? Because their priorities, their mindset, what they want to achieve in the future. It says later on, I realized that it depends on how these people view themselves. You have to see yourself as a millionaire. That's the start. So moving forward, we tell our people that you're all a millionaire. Growing up, I was never taught that. I was only taught to go to school, get a good degree, get a good job, and be done with that. But no one ever sat me down until joining this business that I could be a millionaire. So I thank this man to my left here because he showed that to me. Yeah. So it says here that the man who has $100,000 protection sees himself worth $100,000 to his family. So we find a lot of individuals out there, they are underinsured. For you to have $100,000 worth of protection, that means you're only making $10,000 a year. Well, it may be so for some people, but we'll find that they also have two jobs or they have a side hustle. So never buy into what people are telling you. There's a lot of money. People have money, but if you don't direct them as to where to put it, they're going to spend it on Uber Eats, Panera Bread, Panda Express, you name it, they'll be there. It also says, also the woman who saves $500 a month sees a wealthy future. while the woman who saves $50 a month hardly seems to care about her future. I also believe the man who insures himself with 100,000 will probably see his future retirement at $100,000. So it's up to us. And why WSB is so important is that we raise each other's consciousness. We are visionaries. I remember Swan saying one time that we're in the business to help people to see what they are, what's impossible to them, what they think can't be realized. Yeah. So the man who insures himself for $1 million will expect to have what? $1 million in the future. Likewise, the parent who sets up an education plan for their children certainly sees their children going to college. You see, wealthy people, what the statement to their children is when they're ready to go off to school is, which school do you want to go to? For middle America, what we say to our students is how we're going to pay for it. We have to change the language. Would you agree?
Yes.
And so it says in our business, we are the luckiest people in the world. My life has fast forward 37 years into the future. Can you imagine? I scaled off 37 years because things that I'm doing right now, as Masai said, traveling to this country and that country, I never saw myself doing it at this prime age. And yes, I am 21 and always, okay? Yeah. In any event, it's just to show you that this business truly changes our lives. So we are very lucky. We understand our responsibility. Our mission is not to sell insurance and investment. Our mission is to what? Educate. Educate people about sound financial concepts. If something were to happen to the breadwinner, we show families how to calculate their responsibilities and their liabilities. I'm sorry, their responsibilities and liabilities. And that means if they get sick, they lose their job, they get crippled. It doesn't mean they have to pass away, but if any of those other things happen, will the family will be able to carry on? We also teach them how money works. What got me in this business is learning the rule of 72. That was it. And how fast the money grew just by saving more money. How to pay themselves first. We never do that. We pay everybody first and then think of us last. And also how to build up their wealth. Very, very important. So don't just sell insurance, my friends. Don't sell investments. Sell a higher level of responsibility and a financially independent future. And I tell my team all the time, for you to become financially independent, you have to get aggressive in savings. And if the income that's coming in doesn't allow you to save what you want to save, then join us in business. Let's make more money. It says when people are exposed to the right information and understand wealth building, they can change their life and they can also change their family's lives. So our job, my friends, is at minimum, if you're part-time, just do one presentation a day. If you're doing this full-time, get to 5 presentations a day. Why not challenge yourself this year and do 10 presentations a day? It's just 30 minutes. That's all it takes. It's just to plant a seed of wealth into people's minds and to show them the way, then they can complete the journey. So in our office, we have this X curve that we share with families. Find it to be very efficient.
Hey, Regina, are you sharing something on the screen? We don't see anything.
Yes, I'm going to share right now. So let me,
Okay.
yes. So can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
1 second.
Full screen.
Uh-oh, it went away. Let me do it again. Wait, what happened?
No, we see it.
Oh, you
Just
can
do it
see.
full
Okay,
screen.
perfect. So
Yeah, full screen.
so in our office, we have the X curve because that's very important. If you notice, that is also the blueprint of our Saving Your Future book. That's how important this concept is. And in this concept, there's 2 phases in our lives. The first phase is to take care of your family, and the second phase is to take care of yourself. However, we tend to forget the most important person in that equation. And who do you think that is, my friends? You got it. Now, with your family, I understand it comes with responsibilities. We call it dime method. So they may have car loan or credit card, excuse me, mortgage or rent that they have to be, have to pay, and also education. Let's say 100,000 each for each child. Not to mention having that income replacement. So if their salary is 50,000, if you multiply the 50,000 by 10, they need 500,000 worth of income replacement. So that total insurable need is $1.5 million. People never see how wealthy they are, because they spend it too much on bills. Now, on the right side, we take that same annual income, but now we multiply it by 20. So therefore, you're gonna need roughly $1 million for your financial goal. So you look around and you say, which industry out there, which company out there, which job out there will give you $1 million? Well, I'm here to tell you there's only one place. And my husband always says the best investment that you can get for your family is a life insurance contract, because you know from day one what the value is worth. So from day one, they will give you upwards of $1.5 million. And at the same time, give you an emergency fund. So if you have a critical illness or a chronic illness or a terminal illness, they'll take care of you. And how do you then pay for it? Well, join us in business. The income that you can make here, let's say you make $1,000, $1,200 in this business, save all of it. That's roughly $15,000 a year. At the end of the first year, you have a cash value of $11,000. You fast forward 10 years later, you would have saved 151,000. Now you have a cash value of 154,000. Keep saving, be disciplined, be focused, and you save up until you want to retire. Remember now, retirement is not an age. It's when you have enough income to replace what you're already making. So that person have saved 483,000 without having to put any more money in. Their policy just continues to grow. And when they're ready for it, it's all tax. They have tax advantages. Yeah. So what we do in this office as well is we're very big on policy reviews. Yeah. And so one of my clients came to us and we did a policy review. It's the new year. So why not be intentional about reaching out to your clients? I know some people may wait until they are at the anniversary or what have you, but you can definitely do it. Yeah, let's see. Okay, it's working. So you can definitely do it at any time of the year. Can everybody see my screen still? Mm-hmm. Yes, yes? I hope. Okay,
No,
cool beans.
no, we see something.
You see green, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so with one of my clients, and he got this policy back in, let me see if I can get this big. 1 second. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. 1 second. Okay, I think you guys are seeing my screen. Yeah. Okay, so you can see one of my clients came in for a policy review and we were sharing with him. And again, lack of understanding, people are slow to move. And when you get started with this tool, they're still slow because they can't fathom getting that much interest on their policy when they're so used to getting just 1% at the bank. Yep. So we sat down with a client, and as always, we always start off with a presentation. Never just rush into, presenting. Just do your presentation. Get them back on the same page as you. So we shared this with him, and we shared with him that monthly, his interest. So back in May, he was getting 300, in June, 400, July, 100. As you can see, it goes up. As you can see, it also almost pays the cost of insurance for him. And he's paying his $1,250 religiously every month. So we saw him this year, just a couple of months ago. Well, back in January, because we're already in February, yeah? So right before January 21st, we saw this gentleman. And he went home. And on the 21st, guess what he does? He drops in $50,000 into his account. That wasn't enough. He found some more money. He dropped in $36,000 on the 27th of this month. So currently to date, this gentleman has paid into his plan over $156,000. And already he has $135,000 in his cash value. Did we not change an individual's life? We surely changed that individual's life. And I can't wait till next year this time, the amount of interest he's going to get on that $80,000 that he put in. So my friends, this is real. If you're just starting off in the business, work with your trainer, get to the event, get your licenses. We got to also get our securities license as well, as Swan is pushing for this year, because that's all going to help you to give your client a well-rounded how's the word? A plan portfolio that will help them and also help their family. So again, I want to thank you. I want to thank WSB for allowing us to share with you this evening. We're kicking off for the launch 2026. So I will see you there. And please, whoever's in Baltimore, start warming it up for us, okay? Because it's surely too cold for us. So thank you, Masai.
Yes. Thank you so much, Regine Laird. The message delivered very well. Yes, indeed. We will make it warm for you. Come to Baltimore. The next one, I'm going to pass it to Valencia Financial Center for Willie Aboy. He's been in Canada for 15 years in this business for the last 10 years. He has been one of a great trainer and builder. So, Willie Aboy, the stage is for you. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's stand up and do the whoosh, guys. Whoosh! Real team, one dream, one system, one cause. Good morning, World System Builders. Before I start, thank you very much, Masai, for the wonderful hosting. And Regine, thank you so much. I think of all of the things that you've actually explained today, I definitely agree. But there's only one thing that I disagree. You said that you're already old. I don't think so, because WSB makes us young, right? So that's the reason why it gives me much honor and pleasure presenting to you with this last WSB East team meeting all about launch. I know that there are a lot of things that we could discuss about the launch convention, but let me give you some perspective as to how like a person, whether or not you're in different levels in this organization, how could you expect different outcomes from the same event? But before anything else, I wanted to start first with this slide. So if we could have the slide, please. So let's gear up for lunch, right? Who's excited for Launch 2026? Okay, perfect. So again, Regine, if you don't want to go to Baltimore, you're always welcome to come here to Toronto. I don't know which is much colder, but I guess we're much colder here. So, but we'll definitely heat it up. We'll try to hit it with more than 4,000 people attendees here in Toronto, and that's what we're excited about. So we're having our Toronto launch conventions next week, but I know that all of the 3 locations, we have California, Texas, as well as Maryland, who will be doing their launch convention this coming weekend. So all the best to all of our brothers and sisters in the United States, and like tell us, share more in our WSB community, as it's kind of like hyping us up for the Toronto convention here in Canada. So let us actually get started already with some of the things that you need to know when it comes to event logistics. Now, I know that Alicia mentioned this during the Freedom Call yesterday, but let me just share with you that Know Before You Go, or KYBG, that, of course, all of the information that you need to know is found in this link. So it's worldsystembuilder.com/app. It contains all of the information pertaining to what to bring, the dress code, the concessions, the venue info, etc., etc. Now, I also wanted to also share with you guys that, of course, depending on the weather conditions, please plan your commute and parking or transit to the venue, allowing for early arrival. Please take note that people are always fighting for the front. So when we talk about fighting for the front, you have to also be in front of in the registration line, so that you'd be able to get the best seats in the house. Next one is coordinate with your team about any breakouts before or after the main sessions. And please be very flexible, because I know that there are some leaders out there who will make that last minute call and say that let's do a huddle, let's do a breakout, so that we could strategize towards G26. And of course, we also have this. Remember that it is a professional business event. While children are discouraged, well, I guess that you could still bring them, but you might not be able to fully focus at the event. So might as well arrange as early as now to do for your children to be taken care of. Okay. Next one is, we are there at launch convention to maximize learning. Right? You are there not for vacation. You have invested your time, effort, energy, and even time away from family just to maximize learning. And first off is, as I mentioned, fighting for the front or in the main team sections so that you could stay engaged. It's a very different feeling, guys, when you always stay at the front as compared to the back. And imagine, guys, that there's it's not like a concert wherein there's kind of like ticket prices for the seat that you're taking. So that is why if you wake up early, you fall in line early, then you will be getting for sure the best seats in the house. And you will be truly engaged with all of the inspiring speakers that we have at the convention. Next one is during breaks, intentionally meet people from other teams or cities to learn and be inspired with their stories as well. I mean, this is what I love about the community, because you also get to get in touch with other people who have really good offices or really good financial centers where you could plug your new campaigners to, right? So might as well like a network with them. Next is take structured notes. One page for big ideas, one for action plan, and one for names to follow up with. I remember like back in 2016 when we attended the convention, I had my notebook that was actually structured into all of the learnings that I had in the first page, and then I also had my action plan at the back of my notebook, and then in the middle of my notebook are all of the names that I contact with, okay? Next one is please avoid disappearing during the breaks. Those general sessions often provide the most inspiring stories and provide powerful strategies. Imagine if you actually took a break and that is actually that one phrase, that one statement, that one speaker that could truly change the way how you view the business, right? Very, very powerful. Next is, let's talk about personal prep and mindset. Well, these guys are very, I would say, obvious. These are some common tips, but you have to take this very seriously. First is, of course, because we're taking time away from family, it's all about business. And please let them know so that you can be fully present and from early registration until the last session. And when I say last session, that also pertains to your breakout or huddles, okay? Next one is, obviously, sleep well at night, the nights before, and plan simple, energy-sustaining snacks and a water bottle to stay focused through the sessions. Remember, guys, that you are there for the convention. You are not there for vacation. So imagine, like what I've heard, like some horror stories in the convention is that people actually sleep at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. They actually bond together, drink alcohol, right? And then they actually wake up in the morning very groggy. You've actually missed the entire point of the convention, right? Next one is go in with a builder's mindset. Take launch as your new year and decide in advance what rank, team size, and income target you are building towards G26. So if you've actually missed January, guys, take February or the launch 2026 as your new year for the business. Next one, if you're bringing teammates or guests, please brief them ahead of time on the schedules, the dress, and expectations so they show up prepared and not surprised and overwhelmed. I've also overheard some horror stories wherein, yes, you invite guests. It's the first time to go to the convention. You don't brief them as to what time they're actually coming in. And then they're actually dressed like casually with tattered jeans, with rubber shoes, and then they will actually be that one person singled out of the convention. It doesn't really feel good from the eyes of the guests. So please let them know what the expectations are for the event. And of course, very important to schedule a post-launch team huddle within 24 to 48 hours to translate inspiration into activities and result. Like, I know that the launch convention is designed to inspire, but when you do your huddle, it's now time to execute and do the action, okay? Now, I just, since I mentioned earlier that here in this convention, whether you've been here in the business for a very long time, I will say the seasoned business partners, or it is your first time to the launch convention, we are united by one event, but it will actually result to different outcomes as far as where you're at in the business. So let's talk about like 4 general categories, in my opinion, of people who actually entered to the event. Let's start first with, of course, like I'm kind of gonna divide it because we're gearing up for launch. What will this person do before, during, and after launch? Okay, let's talk about the first type of person. The first type of person is the newbie, the greenie, the first timers. And what is the outcome that we are expecting of this person? Of course, hitting GX after convention. Okay, so what are they gonna prepare before launch? Of course, first and foremost, as a new campaigner, you have to clarify your story. You have to remain grounded, why you joined WSB and what you really want in this business. Is this really just a hobby for you? Do you want to turn this into a full-time career? Do you want to make serious money and help more families out there? You decide, right? Next one is also develop your sharing list. You're new in the business, and we are in this business of sharing and articulating our cause so that you could invite them to future workshops after launch convention. Next is, because you're gonna run for GX, you also have to be familiar with the basics of GX, the 30 by 30 campaign, so that you could talk more about building a strong financial foundation and helping more families out there. And of course, as a newbie, as a greenie, you need to coordinate your team about event logistics and how they want you to plug into team breakouts. Let's talk about during launch. A newbie, of course, you would need to sit with the same, with your same team members and make sure that you stay in the room for every general session. Next one is also take notes on at least 3 things. Big stories that moved you, simple phrases leaders use, and products perhaps you may not yet understand that you could actually ask your leaders later. Next is take this opportunity as a newbie to introduce yourself to other team members that could also help your business. Like where are they from, how long they've been in WSB, because the wonderful thing about the convention is you'll get to know a lot of people from different cities, from different regions, and that is the wonderful thing about opening your eyes about this wonderful WSB community. Next is, of course, memorialize the great and wonderful event that is launched. And that's why it also takes short clips so that it will continue to inspire you each and every day as you do this business. And then let's talk about after. After, very important to meet with your trainer within 48 hours to debrief and turn notes into simple action plans as per your trainer guidebook. Next is we also have, please contact the names on those in your sharing list so that you could already start going out in the field with your trainer, and at least you'd be able to experience how it's like to invite people to the workshops, invite people to the office, invite people for a home BPM, etc., etc. And of course, one other thing is, as a newbie, please pick one short-term target, such as do you want to get your license, your first GX, or the first 5 families help? And you need to track it, not every week, not every month, but daily. Okay? Let's now go to the next type of person. Okay? The next type of person is those people who are GX runners or GX candidates, right? These are the people who have who ran for their GX, but they might have a very small team, but continues to rebuild their team, right? So the outcome that we wanted to get for these people would be growing the team and leveraging on that momentum. So let's talk about before launch. For this type of person, we could actually first set goals. Example, how many teammates are attending? Okay, would it be 5? Would it be 10? Would it be 30 in your team? How many new recruits and GX level you want to hit in February? Now, I know that here in our office, to all of our WSB community, we are very intentional in declaring that we will be hitting GX2 this month. And even for these people, even before attending the launch convention, they want to run their GX, even though that it's actually a short month, right? Next one is confirm everyone's launch registration and recognition location so that your team is on the right list. Next one is run a pre-launch huddle to align dress code, arrival times, and where you sit as a group. This is where you're gonna kind of like orchestrate the logistics of your small team, right? But during launch, make sure your team shows up early for the event and sits together. I emphasize very clearly, guys, that sitting at the back is the worst feeling in the world at the convention because there's a lot of people who are walking at the back, going to the washroom, having side chat, and you will be very distracted. Next one is introduce at least 3 teammates to other leaders or builders so that they could already step up to the next level and be inspired, right? Next is have each teammate write down 3 ideas and 3 commitments per each day of the convention and collect them or take pictures so that you could monitor them and make sure that you are setting them up for success. Next is, of course, memorialize, okay, at key moments, opening, recognition, end of each day, and make sure that you articulate in the WSB community. Be an instrument of inspiration. And of course, after launch, next, hold a structured debrief within 24 to 48 hours with your team, what you've learned and what you will start, stop, and continue to do so that you could hit your GX. Next is translate now this inspiration, no more like, oh, I cried during one of the sharing, etc., etc. Now is a time of action and create your own campaigns such as launch to G26, doing 90-day relentless with GX, and even your 30 by 30 target. Next is, of course, it's always about that daily discipline, consistent, concrete daily actions such as attendance to the workshops, field trainings, recruiting numbers, and so on and so forth. Let's now go to the third type of person, which is those people who are now starting to build a bigger team. So those who are also running for their GXMD. So either GXMD, MD Builder, and those candidates. The outcome is you hit or lock in your GXMD and MD Builder 3. Before launch, this is what you need to prepare for. First is, you need to know your math. How do you hit your GXMD? How do you hit your MD Builder 3? How many legs does that need to hit your MD Builder 3? Rolling months, etc., etc. Next one is review the latest guidelines and mark the quickest path in getting to GXMD and MD Builder 3. Look into your trainer guidebook. Look into the trainer manual. All of the information is also there. Next is decide which legs you want to push through MD next and set a 30 to 90-day targets for them. Now that you have a team, you need to also make sure that they also run for GX, they also run for GXMD. Next is also be very intentional, not group meetings, but have one-on-one coaching meetings with your leaders, the kahunas and big kahunas at launch, or right after to go over your strategy. Bring out ideas, some creative ideas so that your leaders would be able to validate it that yes, that will actually make you GXMD or MD Builder 3. During launch is take detailed notes on any segment about GX, GXMD, or MD Builder 3 stories because you'll never know. You might also have some teammates who will also be sharing the same journey as those people who actually shared or spoke at the convention. Next is, I'd rather sit with people who are very serious rather than those people who are eating chicha corn, right, or popcorn during the convention. Because I'm there to win, right? I am very intentional and purposeful in attending the convention. And you know what? Make sure that you are strategically located with those people who are the achievers in the team, okay? Next one is, ask also specific questions. Be very curious. Stumble forward from the top kahunas and big kahunas and what are the things that they track? Right, how do they structure their field training and how do they drive licensing speed? And of course, identify 2 to 3 best practices you will duplicate, such as GX tracking, fast GXMD game plan, 30-day blitz, or relentless 90 days. And of course, after launch, this is how it looks like. Lock in a written 3-month rolling plan with your trainer, including exact GX levels and leg targets. Schedule weekly promotion-focused check-ins, and when I say promotion, it's not your typical or MD, SMD, CEO, EVC. This is more about MD Builder 3, GXMD, and even for Kahuna and Big Kahuna. And then submit any new GX recognition qualifications promptly so your team sees their names at meetings and webinars. For those in the webinar right now, in our office, they do this every time. They actually take pictures of the slides. But I think you guys would agree that this is actually the journey that we've been through, correct? And now, for some people who are now on the more builder type level, the bigger team level, those kahuna or big kahuna candidates before launch, well, the outcome first is duplication and prep for G26. Before launch, set an attendance goal. What is your number at launch? And there's still time, guys, for Baltimore as well as Toronto to bring more people in. And of course, you now have to set as early as now on how many people you will be bringing to G26 in Sacramento. Next one is identify your top leaders, the people who wanted to get more clarity and you want to get from from them on launch, like the Believe, GXMD, the push for recruiting, etc. And of course, design your post-launch campaign. Again, as I mentioned, launch the G26 explosion that you could actually run between February to July. During launch, lead by example on energy, punctuality, professionalism, and be visible at the main event. That's the reason why, guys, we need to show an example to our team that we will always show up on time because the other team members are also looking at us as kahunas and big kahunas. Next one is get to know your team because they're a large team anyways. Rotate through your team sections, sit with different legs, and observe who is taking notes and who is distracted and disengaged. Next is take note of takeaways for immediate action by the team and network with other kahunas and big kahunas for benchmarking. And then after launch, run a hierarchy-wide launch debrief plus G26 vision meeting within 72 hours. And I clearly remember Alicia, during the A-team huddle, she mentioned about the rule of 72. And that rule of 72 does not actually apply for not only on the money side of things, but it's actually also for convention. You need to make sure that you meet your team within 72 hours. Okay? And of course, implement or refine the workshop calendar, GX tracking, recognition rhythm, and business tracking. And of course, set clear qualification targets because it's now an orchestration of a much bigger team so that you would be able to hit a bigger goal and be consistent big kahunas. So, in summary, I just wanted to share with you that with each level of individual here at launch, as I mentioned, different levels, different types of people, different outcomes. And that is why for newbies, greenies, first-timers, they want to hit GX, the main focus at launch is build belief, capture content, line up guests for CIs and workshops, and the top 3 actions for that newbie is sit with the team, take story-based notes, and then the sharing list. Next one, for those people who are running for GX, candidates for GX, leverage on team growth and momentum by getting them plugged in, create immediate post-launch campaigns, and then of course the actions would be pre-launch huddle, team seat plan, and then post-launch debrief with an action plan. The next one is for those GXMD or MD Builder candidates, lock in GXMD and MD Builder 3 consistently every month, but you need to provide clarity on the GX math and push for more GX leg that comes out every single month. Know your numbers, meet the trainer about the plan, and identify best practices to leverage. And of course, the final one is for those people who are doing the kahuna and big kahuna, duplication is key. And bringing or paving the road getting to G26 is also very critical. So drive attendance, culture, and system duplication so that more people will actually go to Sacramento. Now, it's also very important that your eyes is already set on G26 even if launch has not started yet. And that is the reason why, guys, from now until the weekend, for those people who are launching in the US, and from now until next week for Canadians, I would encourage you guys to now put your game face on because this is the biggest fight of your lives beginning in 2026. And that is the reason why I'm so excited. Thank you very much for letting me share. Have a great night, guys.
Wow, Goody. Thank you so much for simplifying. Very, very easy. I told you earlier, we were COVID proof, right? We didn't close. We were virtual, right? All those G20, G21, I told you we are COVID proof. We don't have cold weather. We'll be there. No. So thank you, Woody, for your amazing job. We know that Reggie is sold understanding. Yes, we don't sell anything. That's what we do. So we appreciate everyone for coming today. We say goodbye from Alexandria Financial Center. We see you next week. Don't miss the lounge. Thank you so much.
Take you higher, we'll light you up like a live wire. Celebrate you to elevate you. We'll take a helping hand. If you hypnotize, let me raise you up. When your bubble busts, let me raise you up. If you glitter us, let me raise you up.
Everyone, see you at the lounge.